Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
If there is a statement made in legalese that says everybody in this district must pay a $500 fine once a month for XYZ, including homeless people, right? Y'all are going to think it's everyone plus homeless people. That's how we would interpret it, right?
Mm-hmm. I think I see where you're going with this. Well, but go ahead.
I would interpret it
oh my
as
God,
everyone...
Here we go. He's playing the game.
I'm not playing the game. I'm making sure I understand the fucking question. So, can you repeat? Because I was in the middle of thinking. He interrupted my thought process.
Okay, everyone in this district once a month has to pay a $500 fine, including homeless people.
Okay.
How would you interpret that?
How would you interpret that?
Everyone has to pay a $500 fine, including homeless people?
Yeah.
I would interpret that if you don't necessarily have a residence. Like, you could live in someone's home, but necessarily not be like...
Who would have to pay the fine?
I guess whoever owns the home, right?
I'm asking you. What do you mean, right?
That's that's my response.
Okay, so your response is you would interpret that as everybody who owns a home, even though I said home includes homeless people.
Before you answer that, let me tell you my interpretation.
Someone can be homeless but not actually have a home.
That's correct. You just said the same thing twice.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Steven, what's your interpretation?
Mel, you're a very interesting person.
You're interesting. Nigga, I ain't interested.
Yes, you are. Because I think the average person would say that would interpret as everybody that lives in a house, including everyone that is also living on the street, in a trash can, under a dumpster, in a shopping cart, on a right. That is what it would interpret to 99% of the world.
Meaning that just because you ain't got no home, you still got to pay this fee, which means we could use laws against you, put you in jail, etc.
Correct. That is the way that I believe that most people would interpret that.
What it actually means,
most people.
Well, I knew you wouldn't interpret it the way most people.
This is because Mel's interesting.
I don't see how. I honestly don't see how.
And
you always say that.
No, because it's the same.
Get it.
It's the same thing that we talked about with that picture. It is you understand where the question is coming from. So you're thinking deeply to then come up with the answer.
Unravel.
Right. It's like a puzzle that you understand.
So you just want me to not think and just blatantly answer the question.
No, but
I guess he doesn't understand the premise of. I'm trying to make an example, and you're supposed to answer in a way that helps me do that. Not in a way that is disruptive.
It's not that he doesn't want you to think about it. It's just that, like, don't think too deeply.
I'm giving it a legit. I'm putting thought behind my answer.
Don't do that.
And because I'm putting thought behind my answer, you're an interesting guy.
If you just,
I like to think about things that I say.
But if you just read it,
just listen to the words.
If you got a letter in the mail, would you think about it that deeply and interpret it that way? No, you would just read it and then you would automatically assume, why would they have people living on the street paying a $500 fine? That's how you would interpret that. You would not think deeply into it. The reason you're thinking deeply into it is because of how he asked you the question, which there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just thinking about the question.
All right, so in legalese, what that actually means, this is going to freak y'all out.
No shit, we're both wrong.
Yeah, but you're both wrong. Mel thought he was gonna get it because he always gets it.
I didn't think I was gonna get anything.
He always gets it.
I was literally just answering
but not this time.
A question.
Legalese,
put in the comments if you thought Mel thought he was gonna get it.
So what it actually means is only homeless people have to pay this.
Wow.
So when you add that including targets and excludes everyone else, it's word magic. So you can say rabbis, priests, nuns, Christians, Jews,
But it doesn't
all have
actually
to pay this
mean-
fine, including Buddhists, and it only applies to Buddhists. But the average person reads it and says, "Oh, that's all of us."
Right.
So y'all all pay the fine. But see, when you do, if I send you a bill and I say, Mel, you owe me $12,000. I want payments of $200 a month for the next 3 years, whatever. If you agree to pay that, I didn't steal that money from you. You just simply agreed to pay it. You didn't verify if the bill was legitimate. You didn't question it. You didn't say, no, this is not my bill. You have the wrong person. You got the bill for whatever reason you thought it was legitimate, and you paid it. There's nothing illegal about that, right? And so what happens in many different aspects of our financial system, they charge us fees for things that we are. That's just like those parking fees outside. And I told you, I was like, because I'm like, yo, I don't pay those fees, and you were like, well, I just want to make sure. I'm like, you want to give them money, they'll take it. But I have not paid those fees in years, and nothing has happened to me. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Those fees I have.
They don't even send letters.
They don't even send letters. I have tickets from. When did we move here? I have tickets from 7 years ago.
Yeah, they put a ticket on my car one night. I was just like, all right, enough of this shit. I'm not paying. I said it's not happening.
Had you
no
paid
more.
ones before?
Yeah.
Okay, so the last one you didn't pay.
I was just like, nah. I said I'm good.
Because I told you.
yeah.
What happened?
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
I used to get tickets going through the light. Steve, I don't think he was here when we had those traffic lights. We used to have them all over.
They took them away?
Yeah, the one down the street when you where you go to the FedEx.
Yeah.
They used to have a light right there.
It
Why'd
would
they
get
take-
people all the time.
Why would they take them away?
Well, because
It's not law. It's a business. It's owned by an individual who owns that.
It's
a
not
business.
owned by the state?
no, you are a security company, and you say, listen, we have this product. It's their security system. And if you put this security system on the lights, we show a X amount of reduction in traffic violations, or an X amount of increase in traffic violations, or the intersection becomes this more safe, or whatever they pitch to the government to say, this is why y'all should. I'm assuming they pitched, hey, y'all are gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm assuming the pitch was. But whatever it was, the government then says, oh yeah, we'll take that. It's a contract. So what they found was, number one, they were the cities or the counties were able to adjust their traffic lights by milliseconds. Okay, mind you, to increase the amount of money they would make. Milliseconds.
Wow.
Because you got to think, when you're driving at 40 miles an hour, milliseconds matter.
Yeah.
And so they were able to increase, and also they did not make the intersections any safer. It actually made them more dangerous. So
Because people are trying to blow through the light so they don't get caught.
whatever it was.
So I know I was speeding the hell
Right.
up. I was like,
Whatever
all
it
right.
was. You know what I'm saying? And then they found that if you reduced the because it's all set up like, these cameras, these high-speed cameras.
Right.
If you
light turns and then you have a certain
You have
amount of time
a certain
before
amount
the
of
picture
time.
takes.
If they changed it and took the picture a fraction of a second later, then all the, pretty much most people are fine. So anyway, I never paid those. Because also, when you get a ticket like, man, there's so much people don't understand. When you get a ticket like that, there has to be an actual physical person there to say you did X, Y, Z. You're not allowed to just use a camera. You can alter document, you can alter video, you can alter audio. You're not allowed to just say, hey, this person, I can Photoshop and make up a thing and says you were in the light and you owe us money. Right? So oftentimes when you go to court, they get thrown out because if you understand what you're doing, there's no person to be like, yes, officers, the officers that sign the tickets, they're not there. So there's a lot of illegal action, and I think eventually people caught on and started suing them or whatever. I don't know why they ended up getting rid of them.
I'm glad they got rid of them.
I didn't care. I didn't pay them. I never paid them.
and nothing
Nothing ever happened.
They just went away.
They send you an intimidating letter of your
Right.
your
We're go-
license plates.
Yeah.
You be like, oh shit, they got it.
They got, and you know you read it.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I did kind of speed past that bad boy. But if you don't know, hey, you think that you gotta
your
you gotta
responsibility.
Pay, because cats don't want to go to jail. Cats don't want to get warrants and stuff like
They
that.
don't want to have the license suspended. They don't want to have, all that stuff.
That said, as we cap it, I just want to make sure people understand that you need to know, you need to understand Don't just be ignorant and just be like, well, Chris said I ain't got to pay these tickets.
Right. No, don't
If you
don't
if you
do
if
that.
you don't know what I know, if you don't know how, because like the problem is when they challenge you. That's the problem. So now they're challenging you and you fold, and now you're in trouble and you got to pay all these back fees because you don't know what you're talking about. But it's a crumb. It's a crumb to a trail that could lead you if you want to know.
Let's. I want to talk about technology.
What about technology, man?
I know what you want to talk about.
What I want to talk about?
Go ahead.
No. What I want to talk about? Tell me what I want to talk about.
Well, Elon Musk,
No.
Twitter.
No.
Well, that'd be a
Neuralink.
good conversation.
No. No. But there is this is it's kind of like a two-part thing, which is really interesting, something that y'all gonna benefit from probably. But there's this video that I saw on, I saved it to my IG, and it's kind of reminded me of like a Black Mirror episode. Check this out. Well, this is a video.
I am not
Of course,
Morgan
he's
Freeman.
about to go right into what I was
What you
talking
see
about.
is not real. Well, at least in contemporary terms, it is not. What if I were to tell you that I am not even a human being? Would you believe me? What is your perception of reality? Is it the ability to capture, process, and make sense of the information our senses receive? If you can see, hear, taste, or smell something, does that make it real? Or is it simply the ability to feel? I would like to welcome you to the era of synthetic reality. Now, what do you see?
Because that wasn't Morgan Freeman. That
Right.
was like a deep fake of someone literally body language, voice, and everything being Morgan Freeman. Like this is the world that we're moving towards.
That looks like him.
And who do you think developed that technology?
Oh, wait a that was him.
That was the white dude.
That was the white dude.
Okay, I just wanted to I thought originally that he was talking as
him.
like he was like Morgan Freeman was at the top and then he was just faking as him.
No, he
Well,
was,
even more to Mel's point.
yeah.
Right.
Like
So,
Morgan Freeman that had nothing to do with that video. He was literally just it's literally like him mimicking the videos that y'all create or something.
Yeah.
And being just like ha da da da.
So and not only that, but he was able to almost perfectly mimic his voice as well.
I
It's
mean,
just
it sounded like Morgan Freeman to me.
Yeah.
Like if I would have just saw a video of him doing that, I would just automatically assume that's Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Like that's actually pretty scary.
I've seen that before, and I will say that it is probably about 95% accurate, especially if you take away the white guy and you just put. If you pay attention, you could tell it's synthetic.
If you know what you're looking for, but if you're just scrolling and you saw that,
If you're the average human who
Right.
just believes everything that they see through the media, you see that, and someone says something that's senile, wild, or crazy, you'll be looking like, yo, what the hell? Just imagine if your favorite celebrity or political figure or whoever you look up to, they did something that was out of character, but you see them speaking, acting, and moving and doing things that they typically do, but it's just out of character. That is the perfect situation to set people up and make them take the responsibility
for something they
Yeah.
didn't do. Not only that, Mel, add CT camera fuzz and you know what I'm saying? It's an elevator
Ooh,
camera. It's a wrap.
add a little black and white, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of a filter.
Filter, it's a wrap. Like you can't even tell at that point.
I saw that. I'm just like, bruh. I said, this world where it's headed, it's insane. Now, I'm not too familiar with what you said. I know Elon's doing the Neuralink stuff.
So Elon, I mean Mel, I don't know. Like, do you like follow Elon, or do you just kind of hear headlines?
I'm aware of.
Are you aware of the work he's been doing in AI?
Yes, I'm not sure if he is the one responsible for. But are y'all familiar with ChatGPT?
I've heard of ChatGPT.
Oh,
It's pretty popular now.
Man,
Chat GBT. GPT.
Bro, I am telling you, that is going to be the next thing that this world. It is insane how and it's an open AI source. If you've never seen it, it's literally like, I have a question. I need an answer to it.
Okay. So I normally Google it.
You would Google it, and you have a list. You have to search for it. Chat GPT is completely different. If you wanted to, like, for y'all business, if y'all wanted to set up an email to have them, hey, I need, I'm creating an email. I want to get some clients, and you can basically detail all the information that you want. You want them to, hey, let them know that I'm a health coach and I do this, and I want it to be 1,000 words. I want it to say this. It will literally just type it, bring up everything. If you want to know how to create code in a computer or how to build a computer, you just ask that question and it'll give you everything. If you want to know literally anything that you can think of, it will give you an answer. And bro, I was literally in there, I was just testing.
Oh, it's running.
Yes.
I mean, this stuff, this technology is been out for a while.
It's active now, and I downloaded it. I'm just like, man, this is wild. You can literally just type it in. I just how to build a camera, and it was like, okay, first you need to do this, to do this. You need to do this. They said it's probably a little bit more expensive to build a camera, so it's probably the best to go to the people who already like Canon or Nikon or whatever. So it gives you literally step by step of everything that you need to do. Look up the top influencers, what's the best way to make a YouTube channel, what's the best way to lose weight. It'll come up with all these different options.
Is it fasting?
I didn't ask that option.
Okay, but you need to.
No,
Because here's the problem with this thing. It's just like Google, right? It's the next level of Google. People already think Google has all the answers. People already think that when
It's got enough answers.
that research is Googling. So now you've already developed a culture of people who think Googling is research. And now you have a bot that doesn't even give you 100 answers to sift through. Now it just tells you. It's the worst thing that could possibly happen.
it is insane because I can literally see, because it's free now, but I can imagine them.
Well, they're testing it on y'all.
Yes. They're literally testing it, and like the servers are overloaded because there's so many people on it. And I'm just like, this is literally some Black Mirror type stuff. Literally like the Black Mirror.
Who all knows that this is dangerous? Like, how many people have you heard talking about how dangerous something like this is?
Nah. Well,
I've seen like one or two people personally.
I don't remember them off top, but I did see people talking about how Chat GPT is it's going to change the world, and
Okay.
You can make money. I mean, I looked at how we can make money off this. You know,
what I'm
you're
saying?
you're telling me that I
make
need to
money.
be
Andrew
implementing
Tate
this.
pops up.
Oh, dude, both of y'all,
I need to
do
go ahead
it.
and grab it just because
Just
it's
check it out. I'm telling you, you don't have anything to lose from it. And like, even if y'all were to
put a program on my computer.
No, it is going to shift and change the way that business is functioning. I guarantee, like this little thing, because it's so small and it's in its beginning phase for us, for the public,
The infancy phase is what you said?
for us, for the public.
Right. It's an infant right
You know
now.
what I mean? But it's growing, and I saw this. I said, oh, this is going to change the world.
It'll just make things more efficient. Like I have an idea and I want to do something.
Yeah.
And maybe it's not something new. I just need this done.
Type in, I'm feeling depressed. What do I do? List of options. This is what you need to do.
Go to a
Top G.
therapist. Go ahead
Yeah.
and get some Prozac.
Top G is gonna. I'm curious.
Top G should pop up.
Top G should pop up, but I'm curious to see the answers because I know deep answers. I know truth. I know the difference between truth and facts in a lot of things.
Do you think that it's going to give you truth on certain things like that? My honest answer off the top of my head would probably be no. But it's going to, just like Google, it's going to give you enough right answers and enough good information to then have you believe it, so it can be deceptive.
I think that it's going to give truth on things that don't matter and give facts on things that do. There
But then also leaves a lot of
will
room
be
for
truth.
deception.
There will be truth mixed into all of it.
Yeah.
But I think that most of it, like, you know what I'm saying? Most of the stuff that people ask that's more like paradigm shifting, that is going to be littered with truth and fact. It's not going to be truth. Can't be. Because even, first of all, like I mentioned before, you got to think Elon has been on the cutting edge of developing artificial intelligence for years, which is why his Tesla is so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all realize that he's leaps and bounds above all other self-driving vehicles? No one else is close to Tesla. And the only reason anybody is close to Tesla is because this stuff is open source. But why did he make it open source? It's the same reason GPT is free right now, right? So
It's gathering data.
It's gathering data. In every movie where AI becomes really
Self-aware.
intelligent, it's because they have access to the internet. And what's the internet? It's data, but the way the data is being corralled now is Facebook, it's Instagram, it's Twitter. That's why I said you want to talk about Twitter. It always comes back to it. Because what Elon is doing right now is he now owns the largest hub of human interface in the world. There is no other platform that has that much human interface and interaction in one place.
You talking about for Twitter?
Twitter.
Because even though YouTube has the most views, humans don't interact on
Right.
YouTube nearly like they do
Oh,
on
just
Twitter.
human interaction. I got you.
Right. So, and when you're building an AI, you want it to be an artificial intelligence. How do we interpret intelligence? It's not 1 times 1.
How do we respond? How do we react to violence, to love? This is why in your email, like Gmail, you'll get an email. And then at the bottom of the email, when you go to reply, it'll have some very basic replies.
Mm-hmm.
It already has read the email and it's giving you an option how to reply.
Yep.
Same thing with Facebook. When you click on somebody's post, it'll automatically pop up certain things, hearts, love, yada, 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 because it understands the humans and it's giving you options for how to reply automatically. It already knows what the post is.
How do y'all feel about technology in the way it's advancing? Are you all against it? Or are you for it? Or do you think that you all should adapt to it? Because there's a lot of things happening throughout society where they're slowly putting chips in things and in people. So like they'll have instead of keys to start cars, they have chips to start cars. Instead of keys to open your home, you have a chip to open your home, and it's to access anything. So it's like we're slowly, fastly moving into a new era where technology is the new wave. And if you're stuck in that old wave, I mean, you're gonna get left behind. But it's also hard. I would say it's hard to adapt to that if you're like an old school people, because cats be like, oh, I'm not switching no DVD. I'm only getting my VCR. You know what I mean? Because this is what you're used to. But also you got to think of, as all these technological advances, as they all roll out, it also hinders us to have less control.
Right.
Because if all cars have chips and something was to happen, shut your car down, sir, get out the car, or something like that. That is insane.
You can't even run from the boys anymore.
Police just lock you in your car, hit the button, and then turn your car off, and then you're arrested. Like you can't even run if you want to.
And that's how it is for the phones that are now created. You can't remove your battery anymore. The cars that they have, they're all controlled by the chip. Everything is controlled by a chip. All these new cars, they know exactly where you are. I get emails if my engine is on too long.
What?
Which is crazy, because that's not even your car isn't that kind of car, right? Your car isn't a Tesla or, you know what I mean, an electric car. It's just a normal luxury sedan. See how I put this?
Yeah, I'm about
He
to say.
didn't like the way you call
He
it.
was trying to shit on me.
Yeah, right. Right.
Your car ain't even that.
See,
I was like, you better clean this up.
You see, I came with that curveball.
You better clean. I said you better clean this up.
No, so seriously,
Jenny G.
you don't buy
Ain't nothing normal about it.
You don't buy.
I mean,
you don't buy that car for it to be able to remote start and to do geofencing and to drive itself. That's not what that car is supposed to do. But it's just becoming standard on a luxury vehicle now, which eventually is going to trickle down into the economy cars.
Well, once again, as you move forward, the luxury vehicles become economy cars, right? You know, in the next 10, 15 years, a car that is worth $60,000, you'll see them all over the place. So that's normal. I agree with you, Mel, and I think that we need to be intuitive in the way that we accept technology, because technology can be a benefit, right? If somebody loses a limb and they have these prosthetics, that's technology,
Yeah.
right? So there's a benefit there. I do believe, as much our phones, they're kind of a love-hate situation, because they are very beneficial. There are people that literally make their living with their cell phone. There's a wealth of information that you have access to if you understand how to access it properly and utilize it. So there's a benefit. I would not be the one that would get, you know, you get the chip implanted into your thumb, and then you go into work, and then you just swipe in, it clocks you in, it does everything, right? Mm-hmm. You go to your car. I mean, they're removing, and I believe it's in China, they have basically started to just, this has been doing it for a while, but they're phasing out like doors, like the normal lock
Doorknobs
system. Like the normal lock system in the doors. And all you do is you go up and now it's just thumbprint, right? So it's not a chip yet, but they are moving towards that. It's just a thumbprint, right? Just like Top G, like it's a thumbprint,
which is very convenient. It's very secure,
right?
But it's also hackable,
right? And it was funny because that's what Top G did to Tristan one time. He was like, "Oh man, we got an emergency meeting," and Tristan goes to go into the war room and he can't get in because Andrew had deleted his thumbprints out of the system, which is funny. It's a joke, but imagine if somebody did that and it wasn't a joke, and it was your house, and you're like, I can't get in. Mm-hmm. So it's
that's how they do the football players when they get like
when they get
cut.
They just
they try to go into the main building office, like they got a key card and
open
the door, don't go in.
That's how you know. They don't even have to tell you.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. But people need to. I mean, number one, there needs to be balance between technology and just Earth, because even in the spiritual world, we do use technology to a benefit. And technology doesn't necessarily only mean electronics, but they can use electronics and cameras to now, take pictures of your aura, which are legitimate. So there are benefits there, but when you start going about chips and all this stuff, bro,
the reality is, and this is where I wanted to actually start with, so it's cool that you ended there. It's balance. We can't stop. As individuals, we don't have the ability to stop the flow of technology.
That's going to keep happening.
It's once again, as Steven stated, we are technology. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? All the electronics and everything we have mimics what's already been created. It's not. Nothing about this is new. Y'all got to understand, I like ancient technology is one of my favorite, if not my favorite topic. So I understand a lot more than the average person. People think computers are new within the past, 80, 100 years. Not even close. Computers are such an ancient technology that people have forgotten how much greater computers used to be. Computers used to be insane, bruh. Like, there's all these lores of floating cities and teleportation abilities and anti-gravity. That stuff isn't fake. Like, none of it. None of it's fake. It's all ancient technology. And it's like, but we've been taught that we're the pinnacle. And I don't know if maybe it was on my live stream I was talking about it. But we've been tricked into thinking we're at the pinnacle, and we're not. It's like we're basically at the bottom. And a lot of the knowledge that we had when we were building these things that we think are supernatural and futuristic technologies, a lot of us had the ability to mimic it. So there wasn't like somebody just could control it all. Today's technology is built on control, which is why they had wireless electricity in ancient Egypt, and now they still don't have wireless electricity. Like,
free.
Well, you can put your stuff on a pad, and it's got to be like in contact with the pad, right? I can't even have the pad over here on the right-hand side and the phone's here. It's wireless, but it's not really. It still has to be very close.
Be connected.
But in ancient times they had wireless electricity, free wireless electricity. And the crazy thing about it is the technology the planet is built on it. The planet, the Earth, is a toroidal field. So there's free energy everywhere. It's just the way the planet works. How do you think the moon moves and the sun moves and stuff? Like, it's all this. It's a free energy. We have just all these cells in us. Stop. Steven laughs. We have all these cells in us. They said that one cell, I think if you were able to extract the energy from one human cell, it could power New York for like, I don't know, it was like a year or something. I don't know.
Crazy.
Even if it's 1 month, I don't remember. But one cell
Even
can
if it was
power,
a day.
even if it's a day,
New York City.
the amount of power that we have within ourselves. So I say all that to say we can't separate ourselves from technology. However, transhumanism is not the same thing.
What
Right.
does that mean? Transhumanism?
Transhumanism is where they basically take what we look at as modern
Cyborg.
tech. It's cyborgs, yeah.
Like an android.
Androids, cyborgs, yeah. Modern technology, and we implant it. And people already have this stuff.
They do.
They have the fake hearts.
They have the chips in them. I mean, but all that
It's
stuff.
much older than that. You know what
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the hearts, but yeah.
Yeah, they've got it. They've got things that you can implant that is going to monitor. People are already doing it, but they look at it as surgical procedures. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they warmed us up to it. Yeah. So anyway, I think balance is important. I think that in order for us to change any of this, you know what I'm saying? They say fight fire with fire. They say fight fire with fire. Nick, you can't fight fire with fire. You just make more fire. You know, you need an equal and opposite force, and it creates balance, or it neutralizes, or whatever you might want to do. You can even come into harmony. And I think that we need to just be diligent about, spending time with people in person, and not necessarily giving up all of our control to a computer system. You know what I'm saying? Keep your analog doors. You know what I'm saying? Keep your Mustang with the V8, the 5.0.
The gas boy.
You know what I'm saying? You can have a Tesla.
Are they going to stop making those type of
Bruh.
cars?
Yes.
Yeah, they moved them things over to that damn Mustang SUV.
And I think this electric too.
I'm pretty sure it is
electric.
electric. Oh, they are.
it's absolutely
Everyone's
trifling.
going. I don't understand why anyone. First time I saw that, and I said, "Why would you buy a Mustang SUV? It's no longer a Mustang.
It's the most trifling thing you've ever
like
seen.
they just wanted to continue on the name,
Right.
and let's just make it an SUV, right? It's like
The Mach 3 or something like that.
bruh,
I don't even know.
I don't even know. It pissed me off when I saw it. I sent y'all a picture while I was on the road, and I'm like, "What is this?" And then now I'm seeing them more and more.
People are buying them.
But I think that in the next 10 years, I believe in California they already made a law. They've already created the law that in 10 years you won't be able to sell new gas cars. So it's California is so left leaning.
They're gearing towards
It's
a society where no gas cars.
Yes.
They're trying, but it's not gonna happen.
It's
Hey,
gonna,
man.
I don't think in our lifetime we'll ever see it completely. Well, maybe not.
No,
We're gonna be here for a while.
I feel like this is gonna be like a movie segment where we'll be in 2077 and all the cars are electric or they have chips in them. There's gonna be those rare few ones that have gas.
Yeah.
And something major is going to happen. All the cars are going to shut down.
Yeah.
And then the only ones who's able to move are the ones who have gas cars. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I feel like that's where we're headed.
I mean, I genuinely believe, like in my heart, that, and my spiritual heart, right? I know that we are, in my head, all of us, families and everything. I believe that we're going to at some point relocate, right, to get away from a lot of this stuff as we just continue to grow. Because I know that I want to be in a tropical climate, right, with real fresh water that's running, or high altitude, things like that. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was talking about that she was going to eventually be settling in like Jamaica or Germany, which are two totally different places. But I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
listen.
like-
I mean, I said, I mean, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Like, in my head, I do not plan to be in America for the rest of my life.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that. When John had came down here, we were having a conversation talking about moving out of the country.
Well, he's going to South America.
Yeah. Well,
Have you ever considered it?
I didn't think about moving out of the country until I want to say maybe 2 weeks after he left here. And I was just like, because I was just looking at the world and I was just like, this fucking country is crazy.
Yeah, it's trash.
Like,
Go ahead and say it.
it's just like, it's baffling to see the things that people are upset about and
Right.
what they're arguing about and what they're arguing for. And then but also if you compare it to the things that America, what they're fighting for and the things that they believe in, it's causing, strife. But if you look at what's happening in other countries and the laws and stuff that they're trying to pass, it's more like we're fighting for LGBTQ rights and all these things that are just people deciding to live a particular way versus how a society is supposed to be ran.
Right.
So I'm just
Yeah.
you see that and just look. And also, I have a lot of international friends and, there's influencers, from other countries, and you hear and you see the way they view it. I'm just like, man, America is wilding. Like I don't know what went wrong, but something happened where this country is looked at as a joke, and it's slowly losing its value. Because how people view us overseas, like they laugh at us. Like even if you're looking at the Brittany Griner situation. Like, bro, we gave a Merchant of Death up for an NBA, best WNBA player.
Please, make sure you're at the W.
A WNBA player who broke a law. but we have people who are in our country
In jail
for the exact
same thing.
So it's just like,
And it's not like they brought her back and then made her go through a court system. If I'm correct, she hasn't gone through any court hearings or anything.
Well, she didn't break a law here.
But we went out of our way to bring someone back home who did something. It literally, when you put it like that, it is actually upsetting.
yeah.
Like you went out of your way and you gave up so much. I mean, think about the money, the resource, the time, and everything that needed to be done in order to do that, to make that happen. And then you have people in jail currently for literally getting caught with a gram of weed, the herb, not even the synthetic part that could be altered. Who knows what the fuck was in it, right? But literally the herb that grows in the ground.
So if I get caught with a plant that I picked, not knowing any better, I could be in jail for years. And Brittany, being completely aware of what she did, knowing all the laws, did it, and got bailed out by the same country that would put me in jail for literally picking an herb.
Bro.
So that's why I'm just like, I never thought about that and then I'm just like, you know what? I actually would like to move out of the country. I would like to, just because I see like this, the society, they're moving towards the left leaning.
Bro.
And I don't like that.
I
don't like it.
I don't either.
Like I'm not a political dude, but whatever I know I say I'm not a political dude, but then I talk about politics. So
I know
Right.
what you mean, though.
yeah, it's just like
Y'all two are the most political people I know. Facts.
probably.
Well,
You are.
I mean, I like to become
Steven for sure.
I'd like to become
why me?
Because you actually like it. Mel at least will say, I'm not into this. It's like
he likes it. He listens.
I look at it, but you actually like it.
I don't like the politics because it's divisive. Like I'm all about unity,
I'm the
bringing
same way.
people together. It's just that I see the values versus left and right, and I'm just like, how are motherfuckers rocking with the left?
Bro, when people listen, you on these dating apps and they're like, I'm a liberal, and it's like LGBT rights, Black Lives Matter.
I don't even
after the documentary came out.
I mean, I'm just like, bro,
I will
you and me will.
We will clash.
I mean, it will never work.
Ever. It's funny because there was this girl that I had a really big crush on back in the day.
What's her name?
And
Oh, you said to put her name out there.
I can bleep it. But
What? Why would?
I mean, because
Keep it
it
real.
ain't business.
Keep it G.
Nah, I'm gonna bleep it. But
Wow.
just so y'all know who it is. You know who
I don't know who it is.
Chris knows. She's a white girl. She's a vegan. and I met her through I met her through a speed dating thing.
And someone that would never watch this podcast, so put it out there.
Yeah, but I don't want to put her name out there.
Oh, okay.
But
Such respect.
Oh my god.
But she, like, back then when I was talking to her, I was like, oh, she nice, she's bad, you know, she studied law, so she knew the court system and all that. But then, but she was into, because when we first met, it was a group of girls. We ended up going to a drag bar. It was like, where,
I mean, I've been in one back in the day, but
it's like where I guess guys, they dress up as women. And then, like, there's people around. They're, like, getting out money. It's like a show, but they're not stripping or anything. It's like they're just singing.
It's a drag show.
And I was just like, I've never been to one prior to that. So I didn't necessarily was like, okay. This actually kind of goes into what we were.
Yeah, because you played me at the beginning of the show.
This actually goes into what we was talking about last week when we were talking about I guess agreeable or you know, because I was like
versus lying.
Yeah, but I was just like, I've never been to but also having an open mind, you know, to try something I've never tried, and I would never rock with that. And how the laws are now, I see her. Because I wasn't into the law stuff or like political and left leaning. I wasn't into that. But now she was all into the LGBTQ
Even
stuff.
then.
Yeah.
No, she's crazy now.
She wasn't rocking with Donald Trump.
She's
She's rocking with Hillary or Joe Biden or whoever was. I think it was Joe Biden who was going to political debates. And I would agree with her like, oh, okay, because I didn't really care. But now I look at the stuff. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I can't rock with. I can see how it can be a conflict if people have different political beliefs. Now, me personally, I can separate and be cool. It's just that I know most people aren't me.
It is the extreme political beliefs.
Yeah.
Because if somebody says I'm a liberal, I lean left, right? Okay, that doesn't mean that you're an extremist.
You're not an enemy just because we have different beliefs.
Right. So it doesn't automatic because people will be like, if you're conservative, if you're Republican, blah, blah, blah. No. Like, bro, just because I have certain values or I believe certain things, it doesn't mean that I push them on you. That's just Steven.
Yeah.
Right? Like, there's people that, I mean, it is not like, I mean, if you look at the history, there are plenty of families who the wife is Democrat, the husband is Republican, and they get along just fine. Right? It's okay.
Because that's back when a woman knew how to let a man lead. Go ahead.
But she can still have her own personal views and vote how she wants. That's absolutely fine. But now it is so extreme. It's like I was talking to one girl and she just was like, I mean, if you don't believe that LGBT rights or human rights or a trans woman is a woman, then we'll never get along. Like, bro, if a trans woman was a woman, why do you call her a trans woman?
Right.
Like, I mean, it doesn't even make sense. The logic behind it, which I have nothing against them, but the logic, it doesn't make sense. Like, let them just be a trans woman.
It's an impossible argument.
It's just like it doesn't compute.
They feel the way they feel. They can't even listen to logic because emotions are involved, and you cannot talk to an emotional person with logic.
And the crazy thing is, none of them are even trans. Most of them aren't LGBTQ.
No, because
none of them are even. It's not even your fight, and you don't really know anybody.
It's not. Not only is it not their fight, but the people that they're quote unquote fighting for don't even agree with you. So it's you're literally fighting for nothing. A lot of the people that are in the communities that these weird people want to defend and protect don't even want it. They're like, bro, y'all are taking this too far. This is how you know when an agenda is being pushed.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because let's be honest. How many trans people are there in just the United States? Now, if you go to the red light district in certain countries, it might be 80%, right?
We were in Sacramento, man. They was out. They have communities. They have a block of. Remember?
Okay, sure.
No, but this is
You're talking about neighborhood. That's
Yeah.
different. We're talking trans.
Oh, specifically.
I'm talking trans.
I believe it's 1% of the LGBT, community,
which
which
is
is like
already-
1% of the world the United States community.
Is it 1%?
It's like 3 or 5 or something like
Okay,
that. It's,
whatever.
It's very small.
Well, there's a lot. There's queers and there's a lot. So they got 1%. So they're 0.001%.
like 1% of the 1%.
How now let's just use our logic. How is a community that's infinitesimally small, how do they have such an enormous voice? Like there are literally more people that die from slip and falls than there are trans people that exist.
Slip and fall.
How is that not a bigger issue?
More
right?
people
Like,
that die from obesity.
Oh my! Well,
Then-
now you're
then-
getting in that. I mean, that's a huge community.
I mean, but why are we not talking about diabetes rights?
fibroids.
Why are we not talking about the rights of those people?
Like, so when you look at that, it's like, bro, this doesn't even make sense numerically.
it's crazy.
Yeah, and that was also like another reason why I was thinking about moving out of the country, because if you like, I'll compare what they put out there. Like in other countries, they don't sell the M&Ms that we sell here because we put chemicals and stuff on the M&Ms,
Right.
you know? And it got me thinking, I was like, man, it's crazy that America, like they even had a poll of like the healthiest foods. I wish I would have retweeted it so I can pull it up. But it had what you should eat, what you should do moderate, and what you should just not have in your
Oh
diet.
shit! Here we
Sound
go.
like food pyramid.
And cereal, mini toasted, whatever the hell,
Frosted mini wheats,
we're at the top of what you should eat.
bruh.
Oh.
You're not. You're. There's no way.
And I'm just like, this is insane.
Wait.
Wait.
Let me see. Is this a food pyramid?
It
Or is-
wasn't a pyramid.
list.
It was like a chart. It was I want to say maybe 20 items on there, and it had of like
And these are foods. Period. Just these are the best foods to eat.
yeah.
Like,
They had the best foods.
and the
that you
first
should
thing
eat.
on it was a processed
It was
food.
it was in the top 3. It was in the top 3. The
Okay,
bottom
what-
one was like beef.
The bottom one.
Yeah, the very bottom. Of
what
what
was
you
the
should-
very top?
I don't want to make up anything. I can't recall it.
Okay. But it wasn't fruit.
Nah.
Wow.
They didn't have. I was just like, this is insane for them to have this list. Because I mean, I follow a decent amount of people on Twitter. You know, a lot of right-leaning people are more either libertarian or conservative, and they bring up all this stuff. And I'm just like, I don't see how people who are left-leaning are against this stuff, because this is just basic decency. And also, it had me thinking that we're in this country where they have labels or they have things that tell you this will kill you, this is bad for you, this will give you cancer, but we're still going to sell it to you. But then they provide you medicine to get rid of the stuff that they're giving you, and even then that medicine is still fucking you up.
It's crazy.
It's literally like, all right, I'm fucked up, y'all gonna help me because y'all fucked me up. It's mind-boggling to just witness and see all this stuff happening and be like, you know what? I want to stay here. I want to stay in this country that's constantly just providing all this misinformation, all these lies, and people are just constantly feeding into it. Dude, there were so many different posts that I've seen about people who got the shot and everything that's going wrong now. Now everyone's like, oh, maybe we need to do some investigation about this. But they banned the people. What's that dude that you rock with? He's like a doctor.
Batar.
Yeah, Batar. They banned him from being on social or putting that message out. Same thing they did with Rizza Islam when they were literally talking about this stuff 2 years ago. And I'm just like, they're banning the people who are giving you the truth. And then when these people are giving you the truth, you be like, yo, let's just follow the science and let's believe the doctors. This shit is infuriating how stupid people are. Like, how stupid are you? People are dying and getting all these sicknesses, passing out, dying suddenly out of nowhere. Like, prior to, we've never had a football player pass out. Ever. just drop, just sit there and just drop. We've never had that prior to. But now that has happened, this is happening not only in football, but in other
every sport.
in other sports around the world for people who got the shot. And no one is questioning that, let's just follow the signs. Let's believe the doctors. So I'm just like, I can't deal with you idiots. I cannot deal with your mindset. I can't. It's infuriating to talk with people who can't see what's obviously in front of their face. So I'm just like, you know what? I got to learn a new language because, and I got to learn, the thing is like, we need to learn a new language. We need to learn how to farm and grow our own things because a lot of us, we just rely on the supermarkets to give us this food when a lot of times the shit that we buy from the supermarket is the reason why we're sick. So if we grow our own shit, then we don't have to worry about that. Also, we be able to save money, invest in land, buy land, and stop doing this, investing in stuff that's killing us, man. So I'm definitely going to I'm going to learn a new language, Spanish.
That's probably the easiest one.
Yeah,
I mean, it just makes sense.
Yeah, learn some Spanish, get some Spanish mommies, you know what I mean?
That had to be it. That had to be in there.
Be like, Senor Animated Mail.
Senor Mel.
You know what I mean?
Well, real quick, before you move on or
All right, go ahead.
wrap up, you obviously make a very good point, and one of the things so I'm going to be doing this juice fast here starting next week, and I found it to be it's going to be difficult to get some of the items consistently in the bulk that I need them because you have these large farmers that only grow certain things through certain times because that's their season, right? But so for example, like cilantro and parsley, two items that they're herbs technically, and they're not in season. You can get them, but to get them in large quantity, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. Like I'm going to spend a lot of time just finding them around grocery stores. So having these things and having them readily available to you, whatever it is important. And one of the things that I planned on doing was, and I started thinking about this when I was doing this last fast, I want to get planters. So, actual build them and then actually start, even just on a small level.
I thought of the peanut dude with the glasses.
Oh, yeah, it makes
When
sense.
you said planters, I was
Jeez, man.
So just get the wood slabs right. Just make them, just a few, just so I can start to learn and understand, right? And then of course grow some of the basics: cucumbers, tomatoes, kale, because it's very resilient, and just some of the basic things, just to start.
to get an understanding.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do the soil, the seeds, and then also I'm going to, which is actually going to be starting here pretty soon. Well, probably not for a couple months, but soon. I'm going to be doing like a lot of sprouting and stuff. So like sprouting like certain nuts and beans, chickpeas, hemp seeds, stuff like that. So microgreens, broccoli sprouts. So things that are just on a small level, it's just like we got to start somewhere, right? And if we can at least, it's just like anything else, you gotta just start, right? Because when you talk about starting a garden, that's a daunting task.
Yeah.
Like it's like, shit, I don't even know where to start.
How do I start a garden?
Right.
Go to ChatGPT.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you,
Okay, I'm gonna check it out. But just in general, like saying, well, I'm gonna use the whole backyard, and then going out back, and then getting a shovel, and then realizing there's a lot of like just dead stuff here. The soil isn't good. Like I have a lot of work to do. It's very daunting. So being able to start in a small way and just growing one item. If I can just get some cucumbers and cut them up and eat them, and I'm like, damn, I can do this, right? It makes it much easier to then move to the next part, which is going to be trees, citrus, things like that.
I started gardening.
I do.
And when I research, I go deep, right?
Yes.
I got the blueprint. I just didn't have any help. It's a big task. You said it's a daunting task. It's a big task. It's not that I can't do it on my own.
Oh, the time.
It's the time allocation.
Yeah.
If you're willing to mess with me and invest time, resources, etc., we could do it easy. I have the plug.
I have time and etc.
Yeah. Those are resources, right?
You said time and etc.
Well,
Bro,
he said 3 items. I gave him 2.
I literally
I gave him 2 or 3.
wait until Because I've been waiting for somebody to be like, yeah,
I'm not gonna go crazy. I know how you also do.
right.
You
and
you jump out the
exactly.
window.
Well, let's do it.
No.
Why would you try to slow down the
I
process?
don't want to slow down the process, Chris. You know me, Steven, I sometimes have to do things my own way.
You do things your own way, but you go hard as well. So don't try to play me. Like, oh, you always like to take your time and understand everything. You go hard. So don't even do that. I'm not gonna have this conversation. I already got the blueprint.
But yeah.
I wanted to make a comment in reference to moving because I've gone down this path, Mel. I've already been down this path a long time ago, and John as well, which is why John's making his decision. I'm sure Steven, right? Well, Steven mentioned it as well. I'm not leaving our land because here's the thing that a lot of people don't take into consideration. A lot of people believe that we're from Africa, and
I don't believe that.
And we came over here on boats, and this isn't our land, right? They don't look at it as their motherland. You very rarely hear people scream, as loud as us, copper people in America, scream about leaving their own land. Like, we're the only ones that scream this loud about leaving their own land, proud to leave their own land. Most people would fight to reclaim their land. You know what I'm saying? And not to say that any human being owns a parcel of land per se, but if this is where our roots are, and if this is where our genetics are sprouted from, this is probably the best place for us. It's just the simple fact that we've allowed someone else to come and control and manipulate the environment that we used to control and manipulate, and we need to reclaim that. So I'm okay with people taking time away, get their head straight, but what I've noticed is people with our capacity of thinking, our resources, our ability, especially men, we figure some stuff out and we're like, I'm going to go where I can do the best for me. Nothing wrong with that. I have every respect for people who make that decision. Better than not doing anything. However, somebody at some point has to be like, nah, we're going to take our stuff back. And I think that's one of the reasons why Martin Luther King got shot, because he started to understand the big picture. And towards the end, when he started to understand the big picture and he made that speech talking about how he had led his people astray, that's when he got killed. When he was doing the nonviolent stuff and the integration stuff, it was all good. Let's go sit at this diner where we are not welcome for whatever reason, and let's sit there and take abuse from people because we want to be respected as human beings. What? That's absurd. It's the same thing we do now when we say black love.
Oh, I hate that.
The first black woman who did XYZ, the first black person that did. You mean to tell me that in 2023 we're still having the first black people to ever do something? It's absolutely absurd. So my thing is, do what you need to do to reset, whatever, get a different perspective. I don't mind. I mean, I don't have a problem with getting land somewhere else. But as far as me uprooting and leaving indefinitely, it's not happening. I'm planting roots here. We're going to start transmuting our land here. We're going to change the economy here. We're going to change the way we interact, the social. We're going to bring everything back to a place of harmony and balance here. And that's going to be an uphill struggle, but it's one I'm willing to fight, because why did they choose our land to do these experiments on? Why is America here on Turtle Island? Why is it here? It could have been anywhere. And we talk about Hades is, what do you call it, Pearl Island, and Africa has all these different resources, one of the richest continents on the planet. What about America? Why did they decide to do what they're doing here? There are so many wondrous things here in America, like people just completely ignore. There are pyramids here, thousands of pyramids here. There's wondrous places here where quote unquote gravity doesn't exist. Like there are caves and vast lands of forests, unexplored forests. Resources that we couldn't even think about here. Why would we leave that all here to go to someone else's land to just try to get by? That's all I'm saying.
Hey man, I'm just trying to get
How
some of that tropical
realistic
fruit.
is it for people to, because you say we would be leaving our land, but it's not controlled by us. It's controlled by the people who are damaging the society. So how realistic is it for us to flourish and take over a system that's been in place since before we were born? To me, it doesn't seem realistic. It's idealistic, but it doesn't seem realistic.
Right. Because you've only been here for a little bit over 30 years. So it makes sense. Okay. Let's break this down to hood terms. I'm going to break it down in terms you understand.
Break it down quick.
I can understand any term.
Oh, let's break it down to the least common
Why did
denominator.
he make you hood?
yeah,
Oh,
man.
that's the only thing you
because this
understand.
is
Like I'm just a diminutive mindset.
because
human.
this is your origin story, and I know you will resonate with this. All right, let's just go there for a while.
Yeah, I'll play.
You on TV, you see a BMX bike, right? It's the shiny red bike, the fat tires. It's got the stands on it. You can do tricks and stuff on it. And as a child, you don't have the resources to get it, but you're envisioning yourself having. All your friends have it. You're wishing one day I'm gonna get this bike. One day I'm gonna get it, right? And then one year you decide that I'm gonna start cutting grass. I'm gonna rake leaves. I'm gonna shovel snow. I am going to work my butt off and I'm gonna get this bike. And you do. Congratulations.
The American dream.
The American dream. And then not as soon as you get it, you got it for a day, a week. You put it on your porch.
Debo come by.
And and somebody swipes that thing.
Sorry.
Now you see who did it.
It's my bike, punk.
You see who
My
did it.
bike,
So
punk.
you know who did it, and they live in the neighborhood. So you have access to them. How do you handle that situation?
If I know this guy, I'm gonna get me. I'm gonna get my peoples and be like, yo, man, we got a problem, man. We need to go take care of something.
So what you're not gonna do is go borrow Hector's bike and see if you can just ride his bike instead. You're gonna go get your bike back.
Of course.
Okay. That's all I'm talking about. Now, whether or not
I mean, that sounds good.
okay, you
But
can
we
say
don't
you
have
can-
a military.
You can say
we don't have a freaking gun.
listen.
Because that's the thing that people are afraid of.
Here's
fear is.
That's some leftists. Take all the guns away.
you do realize that the American people have the largest military on the planet. Not the U.S. Army. Just the American people is like the largest military.
Which is the people.
Right? So it's not about weapons because we have the weapons. There are other elements at work that than just simply what we can see with our naked eye. Have you paid attention? First of all, there's a shift in consciousness.
Right.
A lot of people are moving towards health and wellness. Is this something that you did? It's not something I did. It's just something that's happening. It's a unified consciousness shift.
Do you think it's because we're there, so we see that?
No, because there is scientific fact that there's this idea that when you're thinking about that new car, whatever that car might be,
That you'll often
you
see
start
it.
seeing
Yeah.
it, right? We think, we're just seeing it more because we're paying attention to it more. It's always been there. But there's scientific fact proving no, because your consciousness have been raised and made aware of this vehicle. You're vibing on it. You actually call it forth. So what I'm saying is,
Come to
we
me.
have reached what may be a level of critical mass where there's so many people, and it's not a lot. It don't need to be a lot. 10%, 15% of people are now at a level where they're like, wait, health and wellness is important. And now they are calling it forth. And there's nothing that anyone else can do about it because there's not an equal and opposite force strong enough to stop that movement. So now we are moving towards a place where people want to garden. They want to care about their health. Now, keep in mind, y'all look at a lot of political stuff. You guys live in a different world than I do. Y'all talk about all this stuff. I don't even see it. I don't know anything about it. It's a different world. Don't care. It's
crazy.
Has no impact on me. And we live in the same house. So you expose yourself to it. So you're hypersensitive to it. But I see the other side because that's what I expose myself to. And I think that it's not going to be as hard as you think because you're just thinking about the history of the past 200 years. That America's kind of had control, but they're losing control. And I think that one of the other things, the reasons why we're seeing such erratic things, man, when was the last time we had a worldwide lockdown like this? Someone
Yeah.
is losing control. What happens when you're falling for your life? You're falling and there's a thread that you can grab onto to try to stop yourself from falling. You are just anything you could do to wrap your hand around that thread. It's cutting you up, it's slicing your hands, but it's your only option. You don't have any other option. You're falling to your death. So what happens? You see a lot of erratic things happening because it's dying. It's dying. I think this country is dying. We don't have to do anything. And it was always going to die. Anything built on a house built on a foundation of sand cannot stand. It's going to fall apart. Bro, this country was not built on, it wasn't built on whatever you perceive as God. It wasn't built on love. It wasn't built on anything substantial. It wasn't built on balance, harmony, any of the principles of our reality. It was not built. It was built on a corrupt foundation. It cannot stand.
If the country is fallen, why continue to participate and stay in a country that's just slowly eroding? What's the point? Why not just leave and go to a more prosperous country?
You still want your bike back.
In a prosperous land. Fuck that bike. I'll get a new one. How about that? I can get a new bike.
But we already established that's
yes,
not.
but that's not the only option.
It's not the only option, but it's the option you chose.
It's the option I chose. But hey, you know what? I don't want that bike no more.
Okay.
I'll buy a new one.
Okay, and guess what? Guess what? When you go and you get your new bike, it's a different bike. It's not the same bike. It doesn't pedal the same.
It's even better.
It doesn't have the same weight. You're just saying that.
No, I'm saying because I'm not going to give up something that I want and create something that's lesser than what I want.
You're not creating. You're going and borrowing
or
Hector's
buying.
bike. You're going to get Hector's bike. That's what I just said. So here's the thing. The grass is always greener on the other side. So, yeah, you might think, oh, it's better in South America or Mexico or whatever, but those people have their own problems too.
Exactly.
They're being run by tyrannical governments as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Most modern societies are. So you can't run away from it. No matter where you go, at some level, there's going to be people controlling you in a way that you don't see fit. And it's not because you're just an impossible person. It's that they're abusing their ability. So my thing is this. The reason I would stay here is because I look at things from a different perspective. If you have if you look at nature, I like looking at nature. Do you know? And this goes back to the gardening thing. This is why I'm such a genius at conversation. Do you know that when a plant is suffering, right? When the leaves are dying or when it's diseased, the insects come and they eat the plant? They'll either eat the diseased part of the plant, they'll eat the roots, or sometimes the whole plant's got to get wiped out, right? And why does nature do that? It's because if nature doesn't come and prune that plant, the plant will continue to give resources to something that will never bear fruit. So nature says, let's not waste these resources on something that's going to die. Let's cut it off.
Try to fix it first, and if we can save it, we'll save it. If not, it's
No,
gotta go.
where's the fix? It's not a fix.
No, when I say
cut the dead part off.
That's what I'm saying. That's the fix.
Cut it off.
If you have a poisoned hand, you want to cut the hand
Right,
off
it's like
so it doesn't
gangrene.
spread into
Right,
the
so it
blood.
doesn't spread, right? America dying is cutting it off. It's cutting off the corruption. Niggas think, because America dies, the whole country's effed. No, that's just America.
It's ideal.
Remember,
I just don't
you
believe
say
it.
it's ideal.
It's
you say
ideal.
that.
I don't see it.
Here's the thing, Mel. You don't have anything to disprove what I'm saying. It's just simply your thought. But if you look at history, what corrupt country has ever prospered? What corrupt country or what corrupt government is here today that was here 1,000 years ago? None of them. So the goal is, as this thing is dying off, and we're maybe even going to help it, then we plant our seed so that we can then produce something that we want is going to be beneficial for us. That's why you stay.
Sounds good.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I'm gonna leave for a period of time. And that may also look like having land somewhere else as well. But there is
I just don't believe in this country. I don't believe in anything.
A country is
I believe in the people to gather resources and do things that are constructive for themselves and their community. But necessarily doing it in America, it does not sound realistic.
Why?
At all.
What makes you think that South America is better?
I'm not saying South America's better. Before I even moved there, I would explore it to get a good feel of the land.
But this is my point. First.
It was just, South America's Johnson.
Okay, that's fine. But here's the thing: a country is a government. A government is a fiction. It's not a real thing.
basically saying you're gonna leave one place and go somewhere where it's the same
It's the
situation.
same. It's the same thing,
At least
but
here, you know what's happening.
Yeah.
Like I see
And when I
both
see what the
points.
fuck is happening, it's not good.
Well, they're all. But I guess what Chris
Like,
is saying
people
is
are
you could
dying
be getting the same situation
earlier.
somewhere else, and you don't even understand that.
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, I get that. I mean, going into a situation, expect something to be different and be like, oh shit, what the hell I get myself
Like,
into?
God damn, it's the same thing. But both of them are valid points.
Once again, I have respect for people like you who will learn, educate themselves, and be like, look, I'm gonna go find something better. There's nothing wrong with that. All I'm saying is, well, you know, my goal is to help people. My goal is to help people on a large
So you gotta
scale.
stay with the people.
So you have to stay with the people. You can't leave them. You know, but self-preservation is priority. So if things, first of all, we have a different perspective on this world than we have for many years. This is the second podcast we've done, and we've had the same debate. So we see different things. So based on your vision, I can see why you would say, okay, I'm gonna leave. And based on my vision, I think people can see where I would say. I see the good in the same thing where you see the bad. And so, you know, at the end of the day, I just think that I think that this would be the worst time to leave, because I see a shift happening that's going to give us an opportunity to really make progress in the direction we want to go, and it's our land. And you also have to consider our people aren't going anywhere. People don't leave their land.
Yeah, people don't even leave their neighborhood.
Yeah.
Exactly. So obviously, when you look at history, the people that have been assassinated, the people that have been the biggest problem for the power structure are those that can get our people, melanated or copper people, together. And if you can get other people on board, it's even worse. So we're one of the most dangerous, if not the most dangerous people in the world. I don't know why. I don't know why that is. I don't know the history of it. I just know that we're the only people that have our identification changed every decade or so to keep us as confused as possible. We're the only people who have no idea about our history. We're the only people who are probably watching this podcast right now and like, wait, what do you mean, Chris? This is our land. We're the only people like that. You go to any other people, they know where they came from. They know their heritage. They know their family. They have a family crest. They have roots. We're the only people that don't. And it has to beg the question, why? And if you're the power structure and you uproot the most powerful people and you keep them in limbo, you get to keep power. And so that's just what I'm thinking. It's not because I think that it's just because I'm me and I think we're better than people. All we've been taught all our lives is we're not better than people. So that's not even the default position. And also we're very loving and forgiving people as well. But I just, for whatever reason, we seem to be a target. I don't know why.
Alrighty. Chris James, Stephen Michael, Animated Male. Make sure y'all subscribe. And if y'all have any thoughts or opinions that you all want to express, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. And we will see you all next week. Holla.